Captain Jiho Park sat in his command chair on the bridge of the Earthship called Harmony. He looked at the big screen in front of him. On it was a strange ship much bigger than his own. The ship was old, with many marks and dents from its long travels through space. Jiho felt both excited and nervous. This was a big day. His ship had been sent to meet the ancients, the oldest known species in the galaxy. These beings had been traveling in space when humans were still learning to make fire. Now, after years of sending messages into space, humans had finally made contact with them. "They are beautiful," whispered Subin, the pilot, as she looked at the screen. The ancient ship looked like a long diamond with crystal parts sticking out from it. It glowed with a soft blue light that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. "Yes, they are," Jiho agreed. He straightened his uniform. The United Earth government had chosen him for this important mission. His job was to welcome the ancients and invite them to Earth. World leaders were waiting to meet these legendary beings. "Sir, they're sending us a message," said Yoonji Kim, the communications officer. She pressed some buttons on her control panel. "I'm putting it on screen now." The screen changed to show a being made of shifting light. It had a shape similar to a human but was taller and thinner. Its face had no clear features, just patterns of light that moved and changed. "Greetings, people of Earth," the being said. Its voice was smooth and musical. "We are the ancients. We have received your invitation to visit your world." Jiho stood up and bowed slightly. "We are honored to meet you. I am Captain Jiho Park of the United Earthship Harmony. We are here to escort you to Earth, where our leaders wait to welcome you." The light being seemed to flicker for a moment. "We appreciate your welcome, Captain Park. However, we must decline your invitation. We will not be visiting Earth." Jiho blinked in surprise. This was not what he expected. The United Earth government had spent months planning this meeting. Special buildings had been prepared. Ceremonies had been organized. "May I ask why?" Jiho said carefully. "We have prepared everything for your arrival. This would be a historic meeting between our peoples." The ancient was silent for a moment. "Earth is not suitable for our visit at this time." Jiho looked at his crew. They all seemed confused. Tae-Woo Choi, the science officer, raised his eyebrows. "Is there something about our planet that concerns you?" Jiho asked. "If it's about our technology level or our political systems, we can explain." "It is not about your development level," the ancient interrupted. "It is about Earth itself. Your planet is already occupied by others. The humans are not alone there. We will not interfere with the arrangement." A strange silence fell over the bridge. Jiho felt a cold feeling in his stomach. "I don't understand," he said slowly. "What others? What arrangement?" The ancient's light pattern shifted. "You do not know?" It seemed surprised. "Interesting. Very interesting. Perhaps it was meant to be this way." "Please," Jiho said, trying to keep his voice steady. "We need to know what you mean." "Our scans show no other intelligent life forms on Earth except humans. Your scans would not detect them," the ancient replied. "They are the sleepers. They were there long before humans." Tae-Woo stepped forward. "Are you saying there's another intelligent species living on Earth besides humans?" "Not living in the way you understand life," the ancient said. "Sleeping, waiting. They have been there for millions of your years, since before your species evolved." Jiho felt his heart beating faster. "And what is this arrangement you mentioned?" The ancient's form dimmed slightly. "It is not our place to explain. We have already said too much. Know only that the balance is delicate. That is why we cannot visit Earth. Our presence might disturb things, sir," Yoonji said quietly. "I'm receiving a message from Earth. The Security Council wants an update." Jiho nodded but kept his eyes on the screen. "Can you at least tell us where these sleepers are? How many are there?" "They are beneath," the ancient said. "In the deep places, the dark places, the cold places where humans rarely go. They must remain undisturbed." That was the agreement. "Agreement with whom?" Jiho pressed. The ancient's form began to fade. "We have said enough. We wish your species well, Captain Park. Take care of your world. It carries a burden greater than you know." "Wait," Jiho called out. "Please, we need more information." But the screen went dark. The ancient had cut the connection. "They're moving away, Captain," Subin reported. "Their ship is turning." Jiho watched as the beautiful diamond-shaped ship began to move away from them. Its blue light grew dimmer as it increased its distance. "Follow them," Jiho ordered. "Sir?" Subin looked surprised. "Keep a safe distance but don't lose them. We need more answers." Subin nodded and set a course to follow the ancient ship. Yunji, keep trying to contact them, Jiho said. Tae-woo, scan that ship. I want to know everything about it. Captain, Yunji said, the Security Council is still waiting. They want to know if the ancients are coming to Earth. Jiho ran a hand through his hair. Tell them. Tell them there's been a complication. The ancients have declined our invitation. We're pursuing them to learn more. Should I mention what they said about the sleepers? Yunji asked. Jiho thought for a moment. No, not yet. Not until we have more information. That kind of news could cause panic. Minho, the security chief, spoke up from his station. Sir, if what the ancients said is true, if there really are other beings on Earth that we don't know about, then everything we know about our own planet is wrong. Jiho finished for him. I know. The crew fell silent, each lost in their own thoughts. The idea that Earth might be home to unknown beings, entities old enough to have been there before humans evolved, was hard to accept. Sir, Tae-woo called from his science station. The ancient ship is accelerating. They're using some kind of drive I've never seen before. We can't keep up with them. Jiho watched as the blue light of the ancient ship grew smaller and smaller on the screen, until it was just a tiny dot and then nothing. Set a course back to Earth, he said quietly. Full speed. What are we going to tell the Security Council? Hyunji asked. The truth, Jiho said. Or at least what little we know of it. The ancients believe there's something else living on Earth. Something ancient. Something that sleeps. And for some reason there's an arrangement that we know nothing about. Do you believe them, Captain? Minho asked. Jiho looked at his security chief. The ancients have no reason to lie to us. They're the oldest known civilization in the galaxy. If they're afraid to visit Earth, we need to find out why. As the Harmony turned and began its journey back to Earth, Jiho couldn't shake a feeling of dread. If the ancients were right, then humans had never been alone on their planet. And whatever shared their world with them was old, very old, and powerful enough to make even the ancients wary. Tae-woo, he said suddenly, when we get back to Earth, I want you to look into something. What's that, Captain? Ancient myths. Stories about beings that sleep beneath the earth or in the deep ocean, creatures from the old times that might one day wake up. Tae-woo nodded slowly. You think the myths might be about these sleepers? It's a place to start, Jiho said. If these things have been on Earth all along, maybe our ancestors knew about them. Maybe the knowledge is still there, hidden in old stories. And this arrangement the ancient mentioned? Yunji asked. Jiho's face was grim. That's what worries me most. If there's an arrangement, then someone made it. Someone who speaks for humanity. Someone who's kept it secret all this time. Who could have that kind of power? Subin wondered. I don't know, Jiho admitted. But we're going to find out. As the Harmony sped toward Earth, carrying its troubling news, none of the crew noticed the small blue light that appeared briefly on one of Yunji's screens. A message sent from an unknown source. The sleepers must not be disturbed. For the sake of all life on Earth, maintain the silence. By the time Yunji returned to her station, the message was gone, leaving no trace that it had ever been there. Jiho looked out at the stars, thinking about Earth, his home. He had always thought he knew his planet. Now he wondered what secrets it held in its dark, deep places. And he wondered who or what had made an arrangement with the things that slept there. He had a feeling he wouldn't like the answer. Jiho and Yunji rushed back to Earth in their shuttle. As they entered Earth's atmosphere, Yunji received reports from around the world. It's not just Mount Baekdu, she said, her face pale. There are strange events happening at all the locations with those energy signatures. Earthquakes near mountains, strange waves in ocean areas, lights in the sky above deserts. Jiho gripped the shuttle controls tightly. How bad is it at Mount Baekdu? The whole area is experiencing tremors. The research team is trapped in the underground chamber. Rescue teams are trying to reach them. The shuttle landed at a small base near Mount Baekdu. As soon as they stepped out, Jiho could feel the ground shaking slightly under his feet. The air felt different too, charged like before a storm. A woman in a science uniform ran up to them. Captain Park? I'm Dr. Jun Seo Huang, head of the rescue operation. Your men are still down there. Take us to them, Jiho ordered. They followed Dr. Huang to a cave entrance in the side of the mountain. The tremors were stronger here, making small rocks fall from the cave ceiling. We've managed to establish communication with them, Dr. Huang explained as they walked deeper into the cave. They're about 3 kilometers down. We're using robots to clear a path to them. What did they find? Jiho asked. They won't say over the radio. They'll only talk to you. They reached a command post set up inside the cave. Screens showed maps of the tunnel system and the progress of the rescue robots. One screen showed a video feed from below. Tae-woo. Minho, can you hear me? Jiho called into a microphone. Tae-woo's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired and afraid. Captain, we're alive. The chamber sealed itself after the tremors started. We can't get out the way we came in. What did you find down there? Jiho asked. Tae-woo looked to the side as if checking if someone was listening. It's better if I show you, he said. He moved his camera to show the chamber around him. Jiho gasped. The chamber was huge, with walls made of a black material that seemed to shine without light. Strange symbols covered the walls, glowing with a soft blue color. The symbols were moving, changing shape slowly. The lead researcher touched the wall, Tae-woo explained. The symbols started to glow and change. Then the tremors began. Are they getting worse? Jiho asked. No, they're steady now. But the symbols keep changing. Some of them are starting to look like Earth languages. The camera moved to show one section of the wall. The symbols there had changed to look like different Earth writing systems. Chinese characters, English letters, Arabic script, and many others. They're forming words, Minho's voice said from off-camera, in multiple languages at once. What do they say? Jiho asked. Tae-woo moved closer to the wall. It's the same message in each language. It says, the covenant is broken. The sleepers awaken. The guardians have failed their duty. A chill ran down Jiho's spine. He remembered what the ancient had told him about the guardians, humans who knew about the sleepers and helped keep them contained. Is there anything else in the chamber? Jiho asked. Any sign of what might be contained there? There's another door, Tae-woo said. At least it looks like a door. It's starting to open. The camera moved to show a crack forming in one wall of the chamber. Blue light was seeping through the crack. Don't go near it, Jiho ordered. Don't touch anything else. We'll get you out of there soon. Just then all the screens went blank. The power in the command post flickered. What's happening? Jiho demanded. Dr. Huang checked her equipment. Something's interfering with our systems. The power levels are fluctuating. The ground shook harder, making them all grab onto something to stay standing. Then, as suddenly as it had started, the shaking stopped. The screens came back on, but the video feed from below was still dead. Tae-woo? Minho, can you hear me? Jiho called. There was no answer. One of Dr. Huang's assistants called out from another station. Dr. Huang, we're receiving reports from the other sites around the world. The unusual events are stopping. The earthquakes, the ocean disturbances, they're all calming down. That's good news, right? Eunji asked. I don't know, Jiho said. It could mean the sleepers are going back to sleep, or that they're fully awake now. Dr. Huang looked at a new message on her screen. The rescue robots have cleared a path to the chamber. We can send a team down now. I'm going, Jiho said immediately. Me too, Eunji added. Dr. Huang nodded. I'll come with you. We'll need specialized equipment. They gathered what they needed and started the long climb down through the tunnels. The air grew colder as they descended deeper into the mountain. The tunnel walls changed too, from rough rock to smooth black material like what they had seen in the chamber. This isn't natural, Dr. Huang said, touching one wall. This material isn't in our scientific records. After an hour of careful climbing, they reached the chamber. The door was open, but no one was inside. Tae-woo? Minho? Jiho called out. His voice echoed in the empty space. The chamber was just as they had seen it on the video feed. Huge, with black walls covered in glowing symbols. The symbols were still changing, but more slowly now. The crack in the wall had widened into an opening, a doorway leading to another space beyond. Where are they? Eunji whispered. Jiho pointed to the doorway. They must have gone through there. Or something took them, Dr. Huang said quietly. Jiho checked his equipment. We need to follow them. But stay alert and don't touch anything unless I say so. They stepped carefully through the doorway and found themselves in a long corridor made of the same black material. The corridor sloped gently downward, taking them even deeper into the mountain. The symbols here are different, Eunji noted, looking at the walls. They're not changing. They look older, Dr. Huang agreed. More settled. They walked for what felt like hours, though Jiho's watch said only 20 minutes had passed. The corridor finally opened into another chamber, much bigger than the first. In the center of this chamber was a pool of blue light. It wasn't water or any liquid Jiho could identify. It looked more like light given physical form, flowing and moving like a living thing. Near the pool stood Taewoo and Minho, along with the other members of the research team. They were all staring at the pool, not moving. "Taewoo?" Jiho called softly. Taewoo turned slowly. His eyes looked strange, unfocused. "Captain, you should look at this. It's beautiful." "Step away from the pool," Jiho ordered. "But it's talking to us," Minho said, his voice dreamy. "It's showing us things. Amazing things." Jiho took a step toward them, but Yoonji grabbed his arm. "Look at the walls," she whispered. The walls of this chamber were covered with images, not symbols. The images showed planets, stars, galaxies. Some of the planets were whole and beautiful. Others were dark, lifeless husks. "It's a record," Dr. Huang realized. "A history." One section of the wall showed Earth, but a much younger Earth before humans existed. Around the image of Earth were figures that Jiho recognized. The ancients, along with other strange beings he had never seen before. They seemed to be building something, creating a structure around Earth. "The containment system," Jiho said. "This shows how they trapped the sleepers here." Another section showed humans developing, growing from simple tribes to complex civilizations. It showed certain humans meeting with the ancients, making some kind of agreement. "The Guardians," Yoonji said. "Captain," Taewoo called, his voice sounding more normal now. "You need to see this." Jiho approached carefully. Taewoo and the others seemed to be coming out of their trance-like state. "The pool showed us things," Taewoo explained. "It communicated with our minds. It showed us what the sleepers are." "What are they?" Jiho asked. "They're ancient energy beings," Minho said. "They travel from world to world, feeding on the life energy of planets. They don't mean to destroy. It's just what they do, what they need to survive. But they leave dead worlds behind them. The ancients and other space-traveling species trapped them here," Taewoo continued. "Earth was young and strong enough to contain them without dying. The sleepers were put into a dormant state like a deep sleep." "But why show you all this?" Dr. Huang asked. "Because the system is failing," said one of the other researchers, a woman with short hair. "The containment isn't working properly anymore. The sleepers are starting to wake up. Our activities on Earth have weakened the seals," Taewoo explained. "Our technology, our energy use, our digging and building, it's all disrupting the containment system." "And the Guardians?" Jiho asked. "The humans who were supposed to maintain the system?" "Many of them lost the knowledge over time," Minho said. "Others were not believed, called crazy or superstitious. Their warnings were ignored. Some tried to adapt the old ways to work with modern technology, but it wasn't enough. The pool is trying to communicate with us because it needs help," Taewoo said. "It's part of the containment system's control mechanism. It's trying to find new guardians." Just then, the blue pool began to pulse with light. The ground shook again, harder this time. "What's happening?" Yoonji cried. "One of the sleepers is trying to wake fully," Taewoo said, his eyes wide with fear. "The system is trying to push it back into dormancy, but it's not strong enough." "What can we do?" Jiho asked. Taewoo looked at the pool. "It showed us a way. The system can be repaired and strengthened, but it needs a new approach. A combination of the old methods and new technology." The meeting room was quiet except for the soft hum of the air system. Jiho stood at the front, facing the serious faces of the United Earth Government Security Council. Their images appeared on the large screen, 12 men and women who led Earth's defense and security matters. "Let me be clear. Captain Park," said Defense Minister Han Bin-yoon, a stern man with gray hair, "you're telling us that these ancients refuse to visit Earth because they believe there are other beings already living here?" "Beings that we don't know about?" "Yes, Minister," Jiho replied. "They called them the Sleepers and said they were here before humans evolved." "That's impossible," said another council member, a woman with short hair. "Our sensors scan the entire planet constantly. We would have found any other intelligent life forms. The ancients said our scans wouldn't detect them," Jiho explained. "They said the sleepers are in the deep places, the dark places of our world." Taewoo stepped forward. "With respect, council members, if these beings have technology far beyond our understanding, it's possible they could avoid detection." Minister Yoon frowned. "And what is this arrangement they mentioned?" "We don't know," Jiho admitted. "The ancients wouldn't explain. They only said it was delicate and that their presence might disturb it." "This is concerning," said Intelligence Director Mina Lee, a serious woman with sharp eyes. She tapped on her tablet. Captain Park, I'm sending you some files. These are reports of unusual energy signatures we've detected over the years in various locations around the planet. Jiho's tablet beeped. He opened the files and saw maps showing strange energy patterns in the deep ocean, beneath certain mountains, and in other remote areas. We've never been able to explain these readings, Director Lee continued. Our scientists thought they might be natural phenomena we don't yet understand. But now I wonder if they could be related to these sleepers, Jiho finished. There's more, said a new voice. A woman joined the meeting, her image appearing on the screen. She had kind eyes and wore simple clothes. My name is Sangmi Kang. I'm a cultural anthropologist. Dr. Kang is our leading expert on ancient myths and legends, Minister Yoon explained. Captain Park, Sangmi said. When you mentioned beings that sleep beneath the earth or sea, it caught my attention. Almost every culture in human history has similar stories. Images appeared on the screen, ancient paintings, carvings, and texts from different civilizations around the world. The Norse had creatures sleeping beneath the world tree, Sangmi continued. Japanese legends speak of sleeping gods under the sea. Native American tribes tell of ancient beings resting inside mountains. Pacific Islanders have stories of entities that sleep in the deep ocean trenches. We've always treated these as myths, she said. But what if they're based on truth? What if our ancestors knew about these sleepers? The room was quiet as everyone considered this idea. And this arrangement, Director Lee said thoughtfully. If someone made a deal with these beings, who would have that kind of power? There are secret societies and groups that claim to have ancient knowledge, Sangmi offered. Some religious orders say they protect old secrets. But we've always thought these were just stories. Not all of them, said another council member. There are powerful groups that operate in the shadows. Groups that might have the resources to hide something like this. Jiho looked at the strange energy readings on his tablet. These signatures form a pattern, he said. They're not random. They create a kind of network around the planet. Captain Park, Minister Yoon said firmly, your new mission is clear. You and your crew must learn everything you can about these sleepers. What are they? Where exactly are they? What is their purpose? And most importantly, who made this arrangement on humanity's behalf? We'll try to contact the ancients again, Jiho said. Maybe they'll tell us more. And if they won't? Minister Yoon asked. Then we'll have to find the answers ourselves, Jiho replied, starting with these energy signatures. Be careful, Captain, Director Lee warned. If there really is some kind of arrangement, whoever made it might not want us asking questions. The meeting ended, and Jiho walked back to his quarters on the Harmony. The ship was docked at the space station above Earth. Through his window, he could see the blue planet below. It looked peaceful, beautiful. It was hard to imagine ancient, unknown beings sleeping somewhere down there. His door chimed. Come in, he called. Yoonji entered, looking troubled. Captain, there's something I need to tell you. What is it? During our return journey from meeting the ancients, I received a strange message. It appeared on my screen for just a few seconds, then vanished without a trace. Jiho sat up straight. What did it say? It said the sleepers must not be disturbed. For the sake of all life on Earth, maintain the silence. Jiho stared at her. Why didn't you tell me this earlier? I tried to track where it came from, but there was no source I could find. At first I thought I might have imagined it. Yoonji looked down, and to be honest, it scared me. It felt like someone was watching us, listening to our conversations. Jiho walked to the window, looking down at Earth. Someone doesn't want us asking questions about the sleepers. What do we do now, Captain? We keep asking questions, Jiho said firmly. But carefully. Whoever sent that message might be monitoring our communications. Should we tell the Security Council? Jiho thought for a moment. Not yet. We don't know who we can trust. For now, only tell Taewoo and Minho. We need to keep our investigation quiet. Later that day, the four of them, Jiho, Taewoo, Minho, and Yoonji, met in a small room with no electronic devices. The energy signatures Director Lee showed us match with locations from ancient myths, Taewoo explained, pointing to a paper map. This one in the Pacific is near where Polynesian legends say a great being sleeps under the sea. This one in Norway matches with Norse myths about creatures beneath the world tree. And this one, Minho added, pointing to a spot in Asia, is beneath Mount Baekdu, where Korean myths say ancient spirits rest. I think we should start there, Jiho decided. It's close, and we can use the cover story that we're doing routine geological research. What about the ancients? Yunji asked. Should we try to contact them again? Yes, but not from Earth, Jiho said. They might be watching our planet. We'll take the Harmony back out to where we first met them and try to call them from there. Captain, Minho said hesitantly. What if we find something? What if these sleepers are real and dangerous? Then we need to know, Jiho replied. If something ancient and powerful is sharing our world with us, we have the right to know about it. 1 week later, the Harmony was in orbit around Earth. Jiho had split his team. He and Yunji would take a small shuttle to try to contact the ancients again. Meanwhile, Taewoo and Minho would join a research team heading to Mount Baekdu. Be careful down there, Jiho told Taewoo as they said goodbye in the shuttle bay. If you find anything unusual, don't take risks. Just observe and report back. Same to you, Captain, Taewoo replied. The ancients seemed afraid of these sleepers. That should tell us something. As Taewoo and Minho headed to Earth, Jiho and Yunji took their shuttle out past the moon. They traveled to the same spot where they had first met the ancient ship. Broadcasting on all frequencies, Yunji reported, sending the same greeting message we used before. For 3 days they waited, sending the message every few hours. There was no response. Maybe they're really not coming back, Yunji said on the 3rd day. Just then a soft blue light appeared on their sensors. A ship was approaching. Not the same diamond-shaped vessel as before, but a smaller craft with similar technology. They're hailing us, Yunji said excitedly. The screen lit up to show an ancient, its body made of shifting light patterns. This one seemed different from the first they had met, its light patterns moving in different ways. Humans, the ancient said. You are persistent. We need answers, Jiho replied simply. About the sleepers, about the arrangement. We told you it is not our place to interfere, the ancient said. But you already have, Jiho pointed out. You told us about the sleepers. Now we need to know more. The ancient's light pattern swirled in what might have been a sign of agitation. It was a mistake to mention them, but now that you know, perhaps it is better that you understand. The balance is already disturbed. What are they? Jiho asked. They are ancient, older than our civilization, older than most life in this galaxy, the ancient explained. They are not like you or us. They do not live as we do. They are powers, energies, consciousnesses without physical form as you understand it. Why are they on Earth? Yunji asked. They were contained there, the ancient said, by the combined galactic civilizations long ago. Earth was chosen because it had certain properties, energy fields, magnetic patterns that could hold them safely. Contained? Are they dangerous? Jiho felt a chill. Yes, the ancient said simply. Very dangerous. They consume worlds, drain them of life energy. Many planets died before they were finally contained. Jiho exchanged a worried look with Yunji. And the arrangement you mentioned? When humans began to evolve intelligence, a decision had to be made. Some wanted to destroy your species before you could accidentally release the sleepers. Others argued that humans could be useful, that you could help maintain the containment. 1 year had passed since the events at Mount Baekdu. Jiho stood on a mountaintop in Korea, watching as Dr. Huang worked with an elderly woman named Sunhee. Sunhee was one of the last traditional shamans in the region. She moved her hands in flowing patterns while chanting ancient words. Around her, strange devices placed by Taewoo glowed with blue light. The energy readings are stabilizing, Taewoo reported, checking the tablet in his hands. The combination of the ritual and our technology is strengthening the seal. Jiho nodded, feeling the change through his connection to the containment system. Over the past year, that connection had grown stronger. He could now sense all 7 major sleepers across the planet, feeling their dormant dreams like distant music. The past year had been difficult. When the world leaders announced the truth about Earth and the sleepers, there had been panic, disbelief, and fear. Some people refused to accept it. Others formed cults that worshipped the sleepers, believing they were gods. Most people, however, had slowly come to understand the situation and the need to work together. Captain Park, called a voice. Jiho turned to see Unji climbing up the path toward them. The ancients are ready for the meeting. Jiho followed her to a small building nearby. Inside, a hologram showed 3 ancients, their bodies made of shifting light patterns. Also present in the room were Minister Yoon and representatives from other Earth governments. The containment at this site is now at 89% strength, Jiho reported to the ancients. Up from 42% when we started. Good progress, said the lead ancient. Its name was something unpronounceable in human language, so they called it Guardian Teacher. How many sites have been restored so far? 17 of the 23 major sites, Minister Yoon replied, and 42 of the smaller ones. We're still finding new minor sites every month. And the training of new guardians? Guardian Teacher asked. Over 300 fully trained now, Tae-woo said, with different specialties, technical, spiritual, and leadership. Another 500 in training. Jiho looked at Sunhee, who continued her ritual outside. The most important breakthrough has been bringing together the traditional knowledge keepers with our scientists. The old rituals actually create energy patterns that help maintain the containment fields. Our technology can amplify those patterns. This is why Earth was chosen originally, Guardian Teacher explained. Your planet has unusual energy fields that can be shaped by consciousness. The first Guardians understood this intuitively. Modern humans are rediscovering it through science. We've also had help from other species, Dr. Huang added. She had changed over the past year. Her eyes still held that deeper knowledge, but she had learned to balance it with her scientific mind. The hologram shifted to show ships from 3 other alien species that had come to Earth to help. When word had spread through the galaxy that humans were taking up their role as guardians again, these civilizations had sent representatives to assist. The Zalarians have been especially helpful with the deep ocean sites, Dr. Huang continued. Their water-adapted technology works better in those environments than anything we have. What about the sleepers themselves? Jiho asked. Any sign of them becoming more active? The one beneath Mount Baekdu stirred briefly last month, Tae-woo reported. But the new containment held. The others remain dormant. They dream, Dr. Huang said quietly. I can feel their dreams sometimes. So ancient, so strange. They don't understand what we are, what we're doing. They just know they can't move, can't feed. Are they suffering? Jiho had wondered this for months. No, Dr. Huang assured him. They don't experience time as we do. For them, this containment is just a brief pause in their existence. They're patient. They can wait eons, which is why we must be vigilant, Guardian Teacher reminded them. The containment must be maintained for as long as Earth exists. A heavy burden for humanity, Minister Yoon said. But also a purpose, Jiho replied. A mission that unites us, and it had united them in ways Jiho had never expected. Countries that had been enemies for generations now worked together to maintain containment sites. Religious leaders and scientists collaborated, finding common ground in their shared goal of protecting Earth. Traditional knowledge was being preserved and valued alongside the newest technologies. The meeting concluded, and Jiho stepped outside again. The sun was setting, painting the sky in beautiful colors. In orbit above Earth, the ships of 4 alien species could sometimes be seen as bright moving stars. The ancients had kept their promise, sending a small delegation to work directly with the new guardians. The other species had followed their example. It's amazing, isn't it? Unji said, joining him. A year ago we thought we were alone in the galaxy. Now we have alien allies helping us protect Earth. And enemies sleeping beneath our feet, Jiho reminded her. Not enemies exactly, Tae-woo said, coming up behind them. The sleepers are just what they are. Like hurricanes or earthquakes, forces of nature, but on a cosmic scale. The public approval ratings for the Guardian program are up again, Yoonji reported, checking her tablet. 87% support worldwide. That's the highest yet. It hadn't always been that way. In the early months, there had been resistance, protests, even violence. Some people had tried to break into containment sites, either to worship the sleepers or to try to destroy them. Others had rejected the whole story as a hoax, a conspiracy to control the population. But then one of the sleepers had partially awakened in the Pacific Ocean. The resulting tsunamis and storms had devastated coastal areas until Guardians managed to strengthen the containment. After that, most doubters had been convinced. The new educational programs are helping, Dr. Huang said, joining their conversation. Teaching children about the sleepers, about Earth's role in the galaxy, about the importance of balance between technology and nature. Speaking of balance, Tae-woo said, the new power plants based on ancient technology are working better than expected. Clean energy without disrupting the containment fields. That had been another breakthrough. The ancients had shared some of their technology, Not all of it, but enough to help humans develop energy sources that didn't weaken the containment system. The new power plants used Earth's natural energy fields in ways that actually strengthened the seals around the sleepers. The Galactic Council has sent a message, Yunji said, showing Jiho her tablet. They're impressed with our progress. They're considering allowing a human delegation to visit their central world. The Galactic Council was the governing body for the spacefaring species in the galaxy. The ancients were founding members, along with several other ancient civilizations. Humans had been surprised to learn just how many intelligent species existed among the stars. Are we ready for that? Jiho wondered. I think so, Dr. Huang said. We've grown so much in just 1 year. Sunhee, the shaman, approached them. She had finished her ritual and looked tired but satisfied. The spirits are calm now, she said in Korean. The balance is restored at this site. Jiho bowed to her respectfully. People like Sunhee had become essential to the Guardian program. Their traditional knowledge, passed down through generations, contained the keys to maintaining the energy patterns that helped keep the sleepers dormant. Thank you for your work, Jiho said. We couldn't do this without you. Sunhee smiled. For years, people laughed at our old ways. They called us superstitious backwards. Now they understand that we were keeping important knowledge alive. A combination of the old and the new, Dr. Huang agreed. That's what makes the new containment system stronger than the original. As darkness fell, lights came on around the containment site. Guards patrolled the perimeter, and technicians monitored equipment inside small buildings. This site, like all the others around the world, was now protected and maintained around the clock. Captain Park called a young guardian in training, running up to them. You have an urgent call from the Harmony. The Harmony, Jiho's old ship, had been upgraded with new technology and now served as a mobile command center for the Guardian program. Minho, Jiho's former security chief, was currently in command. Jiho took the communication device and heard Minho's voice. Captain, we've detected an unidentified ship entering the solar system. It's not from any of the species we know. Jiho felt a spike of worry. Hostile? Unknown. The ancients are concerned. They say it's from a region of space they rarely visit. They want you on the Harmony immediately. I'm on my way, Jiho said. He turned to the others. Duty calls. A new ship has entered our system. I'll come with you, Yunji said. You'll need a communications officer. And I should check this containment one more time before we leave, Taewoo added. As they prepared to depart, Jiho looked up at the night sky. A year ago he had looked at those same stars and seen only distant lights. Now he knew they were home to countless civilizations, some friendly, some neutral, some possibly hostile. But the greatest threat still came from within Earth itself, the sleeping powers that could destroy worlds if they ever broke free. Keeping them contained was now humanity's greatest responsibility. A small shuttle arrived to take them to the Harmony. As they boarded, Jiho felt a familiar sensation, the faint hum of the containment system in his mind, connecting him to the sleeping powers beneath Earth's surface. Jiho woke up in a bright room. He was lying on a bed with machines beeping around him. His body felt weak, like he had run a very long race. His hand, which had touched the blue pool, tingled with a strange feeling. He's awake, a voice said. Jiho turned his head to see Unji sitting beside his bed. She looked tired but smiled when she saw him looking at her. How long was I out? Jiho asked. His voice sounded rough. 3 days, Unji replied. The doctor said your body experienced a massive energy drain. It was like you had been struck by lightning. Jiho tried to sit up. Taewoo? Dr. Huang? They're alive. Taewoo woke up yesterday. Dr. Huang is still unconscious, but the doctors say she's getting better. Jiho looked around the room. It wasn't a normal hospital. The walls were thick, and there were guards outside the door. Where are we? A secure medical facility run by the Security Council, Yunji explained. They moved you here after we got out of the mountain. The sleeper is dormant again, Yunji assured him. Whatever you three did worked. The tremors stopped. All the strange events around the world calmed down. Jiho relaxed slightly. Has the Security Council been informed about what we found? Yes, I told them everything. They've been waiting for you to wake up so they can hear it from you too. Yunji paused. There's something else. The ancients have returned. A small ship entered Earth orbit 2 days ago. They're asking to speak with you. With me? Jiho was surprised. They say they detected what happened at Mount Baekdu. They know you've become connected to the containment system. Jiho looked at his tingling hand. He could still feel something. A faint connection to the blue pool deep in the mountain. I can feel it, he admitted. Like a distant hum in my mind. Taewoo says the same thing, Yunji said. The Security Council has been meeting nonstop. They're trying to decide what to do with this information. They need to find all the containment sites, Jiho said urgently. Some of them are failing. If one sleeper fully awakens, it could destroy everything. They're already working on it. They've sent teams to all the locations with those strange energy signatures. Yunji took his hand. Jiho, the world leaders are scared. This changes everything we thought we knew about our planet, about our history. They should be scared, Jiho said. But there's hope too. The containment system can be fixed, strengthened. We just need to combine the ancient methods with new technology. There was a knock at the door and Minister Yoon entered. The defense minister looked like he hadn't slept in days. Captain Park, he said. Good to see you awake. We have much to discuss. Jiho tried to sit up straighter. Minister, we need to act quickly. The containment systems around the world. We're already on it, Minister Yoon assured him. Teams have been sent to all identified sites. We're finding similar chambers at each location. Some are in better condition than others. What about the ancients? Jiho asked. Have you spoken with them? No. They will only speak with you, Taewoo Choi and Junseo Huang. They say you three are now connected to the system, part of it. Guardians, Jiho said quietly. We've become guardians. Minister Yoon nodded. That's what they're calling you. They say the old guardians failed, but the system has chosen new ones. I don't understand, Yunji said. How could a machine system choose them? It's not just a machine, Jiho explained, remembering what he had seen in his visions. It's partly alive, partly aware. It was created by combining many different technologies from many different species. Some of those technologies are so advanced they seem like magic to us. Can you speak with the ancients? Minister Yoon asked. We need to know everything they can tell us about these sleepers and how to contain them. Yes, Jiho agreed. But first I want to see Taewoo. An hour later, after doctors had checked Jiho and decided he was strong enough to move, he was taken in a wheelchair to Taewoo's room. His science officer was sitting up in bed looking at a tablet. Captain, Taewoo said with a smile. Good to see you awake. You too, Jiho replied. What are you working on? Taewoo showed him the tablet. It was covered with strange symbols, the same kind they had seen on the chamber walls. I can read them now, Taewoo said. Since touching the pool, the knowledge is just in my head. What do they say? Jiho asked. This is a technical manual for the containment system, Taewoo explained. It describes how to maintain and repair the seals that hold the sleepers. Can we use it to fix the failing containments? I think so, Taewoo said. But we'll need help. The system was designed to be maintained by different types of guardians working together. Those with technical knowledge, those with spiritual understanding, and those with leadership abilities. The three of us, Jiho realized. You, Dr. Huang, and me. Taewoo nodded. The pool chose us for specific reasons. I got the technical knowledge, how the system works, how to fix it. Dr. Huang probably got the spiritual understanding, how to perform the rituals and ceremonies that help maintain the energy flow. And you, leadership, Jiho finished. The ability to bring people together, to make them work toward a common goal. Exactly. But we'll need more guardians, a lot more. The original system had thousands of guardians around the world. We'll find them, Jiho promised. People who are willing to learn, to help. Later that day, Jiho was brought to a secure conference room. A large screen on one wall showed the ancient ship in orbit around Earth. Minister, Yoon, and several other Security Council members were present. We're ready to open communication, a technician said. The screen changed to show an ancient, its body made of shifting light patterns. Jiho recognized it as the one they had spoken to in space. Greetings, new guardian, the ancient said to Jiho. We have felt the change in the containment system. You have done well to push the sleeper back into dormancy. It was only temporary, Jiho replied. The containment is still failing in many places. Yes, the ancient agreed. But now there is hope. New guardians have been chosen. The system recognizes you. We need your help, Jiho said. We need to know everything about the sleepers, about the containment system. Our planet is in danger. We will help, the ancient promised. Now that you have become guardians, we can share our knowledge with you. The old agreement has changed. What agreement? Minister Yoon asked. Who made this agreement on humanity's behalf? The ancients' light patterns shifted. Long ago, when humans first began to develop intelligence, the combined galactic civilizations faced a choice. Some wanted to destroy your species before you could accidentally release the sleepers. Others argued for cooperation. And who decided for us? Jiho pressed. Your ancestors, the ancient replied. The early human tribes who showed promise, wisdom. We approached them and explained the situation. They agreed to become guardians, to watch over the sleepers, to perform the rituals that would keep them dormant. In exchange, humanity was allowed to develop, to grow. But over time, the knowledge was lost, Taewoo said, or it became confused with myths and legends. Yes, the ancient confirmed. Some guardians kept the knowledge pure, passed it down through generations. They became your shamans, your priests, your keepers of sacred sites. But as human civilization grew more complex, more technological, many began to dismiss the old ways as superstition. The containment system needed both, Jiho realized. The ancient rituals and the understanding of how they affect energy fields. Correct, the ancient said. The system works on multiple levels, physical, energetic, spiritual. All are needed for full containment. You said you'll help us now, Jiho said. What changed? The fact that the system chose new guardians shows that Earth still has a chance. And the fact that you three represent different aspects, science, spirituality, leadership, gives us hope that humans can integrate the old and new approaches. Will you come to Earth now? Minister Yoon asked. The ancient was silent for a moment. Some of us will come, yes. A small delegation, to work directly with the new guardians. But we must be careful. Our presence could disturb the balance further if not properly managed. How many sleepers are there on Earth? Jiho asked. 7 major ones, the ancient replied, and many lesser ones. The 7 must remain contained at all costs. If even one fully awakens, it could destroy much of your world before we could stop it. And if all 7 wake up, Ionji asked quietly, then Earth would die, the ancient said simply. And the sleepers would move on to other worlds. The room was silent as everyone absorbed this information. We'll need to establish a global program, Minister Yoon said finally. Find all the containment sites, assess their condition, begin repairs. And we'll need to find more guardians, train them. The system will help you find them, the ancient assured them. It can recognize those with the necessary qualities. Some of your current spiritual leaders, scientists, and political figures may already have guardian potential without knowing it. What about Dr. Huang? Jiho asked. She's still unconscious. She carries the heaviest burden, the ancient explained. The spiritual understanding is the most difficult for modern humans to accept. Her mind is integrating vast amounts of knowledge that goes against much of her scientific training. She will awaken when she is ready. As if on cue, a nurse entered the room. Dr. Huang is awake, she announced. She's asking for Captain Park. Jiho was taken to Dr. Huang's room.